So you want to buy a house, that's great. This video can literally save you tens of thousands of dollars, if not more. I just wanted to give you a heads up. We're gonna have to cover some numbers and some charts today for you to really understand and get a full perspective. But hang in there with me until the end of the video. Try not to make it boring, but trust me, it's worth it if you're considering buying a home. Let's go. So when it comes to owning a home, I don't want you to just look at it face value. There's a lot behind it. Are you ready to buy a house? Let's test it. The purpose of these videos is to help you establish a well-informed decision and decide, are you really ready to buy a home? What is your long-term goal? And is the time right now for you? In the end, it's up to you. I just want you to be well-informed about your decision. So let's break this chart down. Let's see how much you really pay for a house. This loan amount is $200,000 for your mortgage. The first two options at the top, you're gonna see they have no down payment. Length of the loan as we move to the right, 15-year versus 30-year. So monthly payment for the 15-year is going to be about $1,381. You're gonna pay about $48,000 extra, even if you do a 15-year. But let's look at that 30. $103,000. So how much did that house cost? That house actually cost about $303 versus $200,000. That's an extra about $100,000. Think about what you could have done with that money. You could have used it to help fund the college. You could have gave a lot of it away. You could have invested it, multiplied it with compound interest, put it in a good fund for about 30 years, let it sit and multiply and have a better retirement. And think about the cars that you could have got all the time. When your car goes bad on you, you could have replaced it with a pretty nice car. Not saying you have to get a brand new car or anything like that. But if you really just, bottom line, consider that extra money you're paying. So you're not just paying $200,000. Looking at the bottom example here, same scenario except you put 20% down. So even if you put 20% down, you go to the 30-year at the bottom, that's $83,000 still extra. And you look at that 15, that's only $38,000 extra you're paying. See what I did there? Let's rewind that. I said only $38,000. So when you're looking at these numbers, you might compare them and be like, well, I'm only paying this. But compared to what? It depends what you're comparing it to. If you want to pay an extra $38,000, or if you want to pay an extra $82,000 or $103,000, or whatever you see on that sheet, that's your business, but there's other things that you can be doing with that money. You definitely lose opportunity costs. Now, moving on to the other one here, let's look at this loan amount. So a loan amount for $300,000. I just wanted to give you a comparison of different house prices. So we went up a little bit because I don't know where you live and I don't know what kind of house you're trying to get. So let's go straight to the right because we already know what we're talking about here. Your interest is gonna be $72,000 when you look at that interest on the right for the 15-year. You go down 30-year, $155,000. There goes your mom's house that you were supposed to buy, okay? I'm gonna buy my mom a house. There goes all that money in over 30 years time. So if you go down, let's look at it with a down payment on it. 15-year, even if you put a 20% nice fat down payment up on it, which would be $60,000 up front, you're still paying about $60,000 in interest that the bank is keeping. Look at that. If we also look at below that, that's about $125,000 even after you put 20% down. You're paying over a third of what the house. So that house is not $300,000. That house is going for about $425,000. Wow. So that's not walking in blindly. That's just something to consider before you buy the house. Don't just look at the tag price because that's not it. Just like you know when you go buy a car, you have the dealer fees, blah, 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 blah. They hit you with those fees. It's gonna be the same thing when you're buying the house, except on a larger scale. Now, if you're going in with debt already, now you really are gonna put yourself in a situation. Now you really have a long way until you really start investing and trying to build wealth with a lot of your money, because now you're trying to work in two different directions. You're trying to pay off your debt and you're trying to pay off your house and getting into a place of investments, and you just tackled on all this other debt, and debt is known to weigh you down. It's one thing because if you get in a home trouble, then you have no way of paying your debt because your home has to come first. And that's gonna put you in a worse financial situation with your debtors. I like to compare the debt to an ex, okay? When you were in a relationship, everything was good while you were in it, and in it you involved, yes, I'm gonna pay for your school, and then you break up, things didn't work out. Moving forward, now you're ready to get married, but you're still obligated to put them through school because you gave your ex your word. Now you're getting married, you wanna go all out, you wanna go bridezilla, groomzilla, whatever your thing is, nice honeymoon, you wanna be able to take care of your new spouse, right? But hold up, you still promised them you would put them through school, so knock knock, they're paying. Now I'm not talking about like if you owe your ex like child support and all that, pay that. That stuff has to be paid. Just for example, you promised to pay for their schooling, you have your new bride that you're getting married to, you get married, and you guys are trying to do things with your money, trying to put it into nice furniture or whatever your plans are, and guess what? You still got that money over here going towards a school. So a debt I look at as a form of your past that's keeping you from moving forward with your future, because your spouse is not gonna be happy with it. You're not gonna be happy with it. You basically drag it into the marriage. I like to use that comparison to compare in this case when you go into a home. Now you're just adding more debt. And the more debt you have going on over here, that's less that you can invest and use it for your future, as well as use it to give and bless others. Jumping off of that point, here's point number 3. If you don't have enough to invest, if your income is matching your expenses and your bills, then you're broke, because you should always have enough room for your investing. So you should be having room for investing and giving, but giving is gonna be automatically put in your budget, right? That should be, because even the rich know you reap what you sow. So we're trying to teach you to do things like wealthy people here. Especially for the Christian. If you're a Christian, you know you should be giving. If you're not giving and investing and there's no room in that for your budget, then you're broke. If you don't have an emergency fund, because you're one paycheck less away, or one emergency away from your whole plan, your whole budget getting messed up, and you experiencing some form of financial stress here. That's what we want to keep you away from. If you're not in a position to where you have an emergency fund, you can invest and give, it's time to get some help. You can take a cool financial course like Epic, you can take Financial Peace University, you can go with a financial coach. Get yourself ready and pay attention here. I'll try to give you more tips. So those were our 3 points for today. I hope you enjoyed it. There's 2 more videos that go along with this one. If you want to get more info like this, go ahead and subscribe. If you have any questions regarding something I went over or didn't cover, go ahead and drop it in the comments so we can try to get back with you. Thanks.